Okay, I'm going to demonstrate that stuff I was talking about for getting your body in touch with your joints so that your body can feel and connect with your joints and where they are in space, and then also just the mechanical act of moving your joints around so that they, get good synovial fluid and nourishment and stuff like that. So we're just going to focus on the lower body. We could do the whole body. We'll just focus on the lower body. So the first thing is just to take our weight, which tends to be up for whatever reason, and then just let that kind of settle so that we start to feel really heavy and grounded in our feet and feeling our feet really connected with the ground. And that helps immensely with alignment and everything that comes next. So you can take some time with that. Yeah. And then, right, so we're gonna go from the pelvis and work downwards. So the pelvis, this beautiful basin, a wonderfully complex bone structure that does so much for us. Just give it a bit more motion than it tends to get in ordinary life. So you can think of it as a bowl, all these bones that go all the way around, you can feel them. So you can tip the bowl so it spills forward, tip the bowl to the side, tip the bowl to the back, to the other side. And you can do this, and see if you can do this in nice smooth circles. Do the side view. So forward, side to side, back. And there is a huge variety of motions possible. This is just the beginning, but it's a good beginning. You can feel how this affects your low back, your hips. It's a wonderful thing to practice. If you are on a long car ride to the trailhead or something, get out and do a little movement of all your hip and low back muscles. All right. Next, let's see. You may have like super awesome balance and not need to hold on to anything, but even if you do, I think it's a really good idea to hold on to something, because it just lets you focus on your hip and not focus on like what's going on with your lower leg or anything like that. So this is about moving this hip joint, this wonderful ball and socket, in as many ways as it moves. It's pretty versatile joint. So it can come forward, outward, it can rotate. And you'll notice as you rotate that, you might be way up here, and then as you rotate, you don't have near that range, so it tends to drop down. That's fine. You can rotate even more. And then it can come in extension, backward, drop down and come up again. So something like that. Just exploring the range of that joint. And you can do it the opposite way. You might feel clunking. Clunking is not a problem. If it's painful, try just slowing down and really moving your awareness into that sensation and going over it really slowly. And if it continues to be painful, then you might want to have a little bit more direction or help with that than you're getting in this format. Yeah. Yay, hip joints. Okay. Oh yeah, the shearing. So what I mean by this is I just have the hands here, so I get a better kinesthetic sense of where my body is. You don't have to do it with your hands there. So I could, from here, I could side bend, but that's not what I'm talking about. It's not a bad motion. You can totally side bend. But what I'm talking about is just shearing. So moving the rib cage relative to the pelvis. And you can move both, or you could try, like, say, stabilizing the rib cage and just moving the pelvis. And this is cool because it gets all kinds of all kinds of movement into your low back, into the little facet joints of your spine, and into the little tiny muscles along your spine. So that's the side-to-side shearing business. You can slow it way down, especially if you have a pain situation, then slow it way down and move your attention into it. Allow yourself to just be curious and explore. And again, if it's too provoking, then you might feel comfortable having more support than this format gives you. Okay, so forward and back. So I'll do the side view. So forward and back, forward and back. Especially going back, I like, because it feels like it opens up that space at the base of the rib cage, but different people will find different parts of it interesting based on their own habits. Okay, let's see. We were talking about the knee. So you can do this standing or you can do it sitting. I'll show it both ways. Sitting, I'm just going to lean back, so I don't have to adjust my video, but you don't need to like lean back and lift your leg up. That's not part of it. So sitting, you can flex your knee, rotate, and straighten. Rotate the other way and flex. Rotate and straighten. Rotate and flex. So a lot of the movement is just happening in my ankle bones, but within that, there is some movement when I go this way versus this way that translates up to my knee. In the same way that when I rotate my arm, some of that movement translates up to my elbow. So rotate, straighten, rotate, bend. And you can do it the other way. Rotate, flex, rotate, extend. So that's one way to do that. The other way to do that is to just bend your knees and have your feet about shoulder width apart, and just try. First of all, you can do knee circles and the other way. And if that's totally doable, you can actually add a little bit of twisting strain. So if this strain is not strain to the point of causing damage, then it's strain that's strengthening, not strain in the capital S version of the word, like I have a muscle strain. I just mean load, acceptable load for tissue. So you can kind of pretend you're slaloming, or you can just do circles. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so, and then the rotating the ankles, if you were doing this weight-bearing knee stuff, you're actually also rotating your ankles. But variety is good. Variety and novelty is good. So again, in the seated position, you can rotate your ankle by drawing the alphabet with your toe, or writing your name with your toe, R, O. And what's interesting about this is keeping note of like, how smooth does it go around? And how many parts in there does it just kind of go chunk, 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 chunk? How ratchety is it? and explore those ratchety bits, like, oh, why does it ratchet? Can I make it smooth? O, S, E. And now the really interesting part. See, you can draw your name pointing with your heel. Okay. R, O, which way does the S go? S, E. It introduces novel sensation, an unusual experience, and it really makes you kind of like really bring your attention in, which is always very helpful. So, okay, that's what I've got. There's like, I'm sure there's millions more fun and creative ways you can explore your joints, but this kind of gives you a solid foundation. And of course, if you would like to know more of the why and wherefore, you can click the link for the article, and I will talk more about why we would want to spend our time doing this sort of thing.